Okay, hi everyone. So today we're working on solving a system of equations using substitutions in relationship to word problems. Okay, so I got a word problem right here, and we'll go ahead and map it out. Today we are not going to graph, we are going to solve it using substitution, and that's our big method today. We did substitution about a week ago, just solving for y is equal to and then making them equal to each other. And today we're going to use that with equations, and we're going to see that it's going to be actually easier than graphing. We're still going to set up equations like we did for graphing word problems, and this time we're not going to end up graphing it. We're just going to set them equal to each other and then do some algebra to it. All right, so let's get started on our first example here, and I'm going to walk through the IXL with you guys, so you guys will have examples of this. So write a system of equation to describe the situation below. Solve using substitution and fill in the blanks. All right, Alice has $8,896 in her retirement account, and Jennifer has $8,932 in hers. Alice is adding $14 per day, whereas Jennifer is contributing $2 per day. Eventually, the two accounts will contain the same amount. What balance will each account have? How long will it take? All right, these look like they're big numbers, right? They look like they're big numbers, but we'll see that we can make the problem a little bit easier once we start applying some of our skills. Okay. So first, let's set up our first equation. Let's talk about Alice. No, sorry. Alice. Her equation, she had $896. And for Alice, she makes $14 per day. So we're going to plus $14. I'll use the word D for days, and this will give us our total. And I'll use T for total. Okay. So if she works one day, or if we add 1 day, she's going to add $14 to her already $8,000. That's nice. Nice retirement. Is it enough? Nope, not these days. Okay, so Alice. Our next name is going to be Jennifer. We'll call her Jen. And Jen has $8,932 in her retirement savings. And she's going to add $2 per day. And this is going to lead her to a total. I want to make sure that these equations make sense to you. First things first, as an example, if I plug in 1 here, right, after 1 day, she's going to add $2 to her already $8,932. And for Alice, after 1 day, she's going to add $14 to her $8,896 savings. Now, how much will we have after 10 days, 15 days? And we can start guessing this. We can just plug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and figure out when would they be equal. But the cool thing about substitution is that we can substitute one variable for a whole equation. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to substitute t. Here's t. I'm going to plug t into this t here. So let's write that out. I'll show you guys how I'm going to write it. I'm going to write 896 plus 14d is equal to, this is supposed to be t, right? But isn't t also equal to this t here? And we want the t's to be the same. We want the totals to be the same. 8,932 plus 2d. And this is what you guys did in your IXL work before. Now, we're just solving for d now. I want you guys to notice that we have d's on both sides. We have a d here, we have a d here. Okay, so I always like combining my variables first. That's what I like doing. So let's combine our variables first. So which one has more, 14 or 2? They're both positive, so I'm going to take the 14. So I'm going to subtract 2 from one side and move it to the other. Opposite operations, so we can move out the d's. 2d minus 2d cancels out, so there's no more d's on that side. And we have 8,896 plus 12d equals to 8,932. Okay. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to do a little trick. Give myself a little more working room here. And this is all in the space I need. Okay, so from here we want to solve for d, so we're going to get rid of everything else but the d. So I'm going to move the 8,896 minus 8, 896 over. You can use a calculator if you want to subtract those off from each other. I'm going to just do it by hand. That's going to be borrow a 10, that's going to be a 6. That becomes a 2, borrow a 10, that becomes an 8. 12 minus 9 is 3. And 8 minus 8 is 0. There you go, 36. Turns out they're only $36 apart. Next step, solving for D, we're going to divide 12 to both sides. D is equal to 3. It only is going to take them 3 days. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the question was eventually that they wanted to solve for. What is the balance of each account and how long will it take? So we have the answer, how long will it take? It'll take 3 days. That's what D stands for. But how much would they have? We're going to have to plug that back into these accounts. Let's take the easy one. Let's do 8932 plus 2D. And we said D was going to be 3 days. And that'll lead us to 8932 plus 6. So that's going to be 8938. So 8938. That's how much she's going to have. They're both going to have after only 3 days before they're caught up with each other. Okay. So all this work here is really, we've done this before. Okay, we've done this before with substitution, and you can go back and work on that Excel. Most of you guys actually did finish it, so great job. The hard part, the first part, is just writing these equations to set it up. Set up equations for the situation so that we can solve it. Again, if you don't show any work, how can you do this in your head? You're not expected to do any of this stuff in your head. That's why we're able to write this as an equation and then have a method called substitution to solve it. Now, if you don't show any of this work, I'm going to think, I'm not sure how you got this answer. Okay, this is kind of hard to do without showing the work. All right, so 8938 and 3. 8938. 8938. 8938. And after, this is going to happen for 3 days. Okay, let's see the work. All right, super. We got that one right. Yeah. Always a little scary, right? Whenever you hit the submit button on iExcel. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next problem. Write a system of equations to describe the situation before. Okay, we've done that. We read that before. Now, Jamie is going to hire a makeup artist for a fashion show and is comparing prices. Ashley charges $17 as a booking fee and an additional $66 per hour. Okay, let's write that down. So we know she charges $40 per hour. Oh, sorry, my bad. I read ahead. She charges $17 as a booking fee, and then it's additional $66 per hour. And that would be the total cost. I'm going to use the letter C. It's really up to you, but I see this as a cost, not a total. And then let's look at the next person, Bryce. Bryce charges $40 per hour, so $40 per hour, and a booking fee of $69 to start. And that's her total cost. So these equations so far are pretty easy, and hopefully they make sense to you. If you want to hire someone, you have to oftentimes pay a upfront fee. This is the fee you're going to pay right away. And then there are extra charges above that. And in this case, they charge per hour. So like we talked about before, let's just, make sure we understand this equation. If I hired Jamie, sorry, not Ashley, this is Ashley. And this here is Bryce. Oh my gosh, this auto changed it. This is Ashley. Okay, Ashley. If I hire Ashley for 1 hour, just put a 1 there, it would be $66 plus 17. So it would cost $783. But if I hired Bryce for 1 hour, it would be $69 plus 40. And this would be $109. So if this was only for 1 hour, sure, this would have been a lot cheaper. But at what point would they have been equal to each other? Because I can see that Bryce charges a higher starting fee, but her hourly rate is smaller, so it doesn't grow as fast. But Ashley charges a small starting fee, but the price increases very quickly every hour. Okay, so eventually they're going to catch up to each other. So let's go ahead and do substitution. Now the cool thing is we know that C is equal to C, and for substitution we make the variables plug in for each other. So I'm going to go ahead and write that out. We're going to say 17 plus 66, H is equal to C, But we also know that this c can be substituted here. So we're going to say 69 plus 40h. 69 plus 40h. Okay, so let's go continue here. We're going to combine our variables. We always say combine our variables first. I like doing that, combining our variables first. Which side has more, the plus 66 or the plus 40? I see the positive 66 is more, so I'm going to move the 40 over, minus 40h to both sides. We have 17 plus 66 minus 40 is 26h equals to 69. I'm going to minus 1, whoops, is that right? Oh, that's 17, oops. I don't know why I wrote 170, that's 17. Minus 17 to both sides. 26h is equal to 52. We can divide it by 26 also. H is equal to 2. All right, it would actually take only 2 hours for them to balance out. It would take about 2 hours for them to balance out. So if the show lasted for 2 hours, then the total cost would be for what? Let's go ahead and plug in the 2. Let's do the 69 plus 40 times 2, because I see 40 times 2 is a lot easier than 66 times 2. That's going to be 69 plus 80 is $149. Okay, so it'll cost $149 to book Bryce or Jamie for 2 hours. All right. Hopefully this isn't too taxing on you guys. Okay. So 149 in 2 hours. Let's go ahead and plug that in. 2 hours. And 149. All right, submit. All right, terrific. Now, hopefully you guys are seeing that this isn't going to be super terrible, right? Word problems can be scary and they can be very difficult. But these problems here, as you guys have been doing word problems for the last week now, hopefully you guys are more able to do it. Okay? If you guys haven't started on any of this, of course, this still might be a little confusing. Okay, let's do another problem. Ben and Paula meet for dinner in downtown Castroville. Ben did a flat rate valet parking for $11. All right, great, $11 for Ben. Here's Ben. And okay, Paula went to another valet and paid $4 up front. Okay, so Paula is paying $4 up front plus $1 for every hour, including the first hour. Okay, so she has to pay for that first hour also. Okay, ultimately their friends end up paying the same amount. How long did they stay? How much did each one pay? Okay, so we said Ben did a flat rate of $11. So that's his total cost. That's his total cost. But Paula, cost will change depending on how long she stays. Okay, so valet, she paid $4 up front and $1 for every hour, including the first hour. Okay, so she has to pay $1 for that first hour. That's how I'm reading it. All right, that's it. Those are our two equations. I want you guys to make sure that this does make sense. Ben is only going to pay $11 total. That's his total cost. He's not paying any more. It's a flat rate. While Paula paid $4 with $1 per every hour. Cool. This is a substitution. We can plug in our C for C, right? This is all set up for us. So 11 is equal to, what's the other C? Well, C is 4 plus, I'll call it H. 1H is simply just H. And we can just subtract that, 4. 6, 7 is equal to H. They stayed for 7 hours. Wow. That's a long dinner. If I double checked, if I plug in the 7 here, 4 plus 7 is 11. It did cost $11 for parking. So how many hours did they spend? They spent 7 hours here, and it cost $11 for them both. they stayed for 7 hours. And oh, that's not the right symbol. And they paid $11 total. All right, let's see if this worked. All right, super. And I'm already on 50, so I only need a little bit left to go. So of course these different problems are varied, but the cool thing is that we're able to do them using our basic skills that we've been learning so far. Okay, Shivana and Anthony are both selling cookie dough for a fundraiser. Although Shivana has already sold 4 tubs, Anthony hasn't sold any yet. If Shivana starts selling 2 tubs per day and Anthony begins selling 6 tubs per day, they will eventually sell the same amount of cookie dough. How many days will that take? Right. So let's go and write down 3 equations. First thing we need to know that Shivana has sold already 4 tubes, and over here she also sells 2 tubes per day. 2D equals, I'll use T for total, or T for tubs, however you want to do it, call it. And we know Anthony hasn't sold any. You can write 0 here. I'm not going to write 0, but you can write 0 if you want. 0 plus what? He sells 6 tubs per day, and that is his total. And again, you don't have to write the 0 or the plus sign since it's positive. Okay, great thing is that we have substitution. We can just plug in one for the other. This is already set up for us, good to go. 4 plus 2D is equal to 6D. Now, like I said before, we like combining our variables. In this case, I can just move the 2D over, minus 2D, minus 2D. So we end up with 4 equals to 4D over 4 over 4. D is equal to 1, right? 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So it turns out it would take them only 1 day for them to catch up. And let's see if that makes sense. After 1 day, Shivana would have sold 4 plus 2 is 6 tubs, right? And after 1 day, Anthony would have sold also 6 tubs, and they would be equally matched. So after 1 day, they would have sold 6 tubs each. Man, Anthony is a good salesman. He can sell 6 tubs per day. Okay. Oops, keep doing that. 1 and 6. All right, great. Let's do one more, and then we'll hit our score of 70. Okay, Alexa is a boxing instructor who will be teaching classes at a local gym. To get certified as an instructor, she spent a total of $160. Okay, $160. We're just looking at that right now. Alexa will be earning a base salary of $88 per month from the gym, plus an addition of $4 for every class she teaches. Man, ouch. That's not much. But $88 per month at the gym, plus $4 for every class she teaches. If Alexa teaches a certain number of classes during her first month as an instructor, she will earn back the amount she spent on her certification. How many classes will this take? All right, great. So she spent a total of $160 for her classes, and we want that total to be exactly the same at the end of the month, right? Our goal is to make these values be equal to each other because she wants to pay off her certificate. Now, if you guys are going to go for higher education, the goal is for your higher education to get paid off by your first job. Maybe for sure not in the first month, but eventually that it would help you pay for it, right? So 88 plus 4C is equal to 160, all right? And then since there's only one variable, we can just combine the numbers to one side. 4C is equal to, that's going to be 72, right? 72, is that right? Yeah, 72. Then we divide both sides by by 4. So 4 goes into 72. So this is the way I do division. 4 goes into 7. 1 time, remainder 3. And then 4 goes into 32 8 times. So it's 18. C is equal to 18. So she has to teach 18 classes, and her total expense, well, her expenses for both, her total expense was $160, right? That's how much she had spent, and she wants to even out. Okay, that's it. So we said 18 and 160. 18 classes and 160. All right, great job. So you have to get up to 70. I guess I gotta do one more, but I think I'm gonna call it. I think we've done enough as an example for all the different types of problems that you might encounter. So hopefully that was helpful, and this is all your homework for tonight.